Yeah.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Hot Makes right here on Hot Makes, the YouTube channel.
We're on a channel now. Woohoo!
We are
it's official.
Full time. Yeah,
it's official.
Watching,
can't find us anywhere else.
That's right. If you're watching on the other channel, you're not, because it doesn't exist currently. I mean, the stream, at least. The channel exists, but not the stream. But what's up, Pooch? How you doing?
Oh my gosh, I'm fantastic. It was a great weekend. I'm excited. I'm really pumped for this show. This has been a long time in the works. So we've been talking about having Daryl on for forever, man. I mean, are you as fired up as I am about this?
Man, I'm so fired up. I'm borderline. I'm borderline like geeking out. Because Daryl is just absolutely amazing. I don't think we're going to waste too much time today to jump in. We're going to get right into Daryl. We're going to do Hot Makes right away, and then the second half of the stream, we're going to do talk to Daryl, get to know him, do some giveaways, and that brings me to our sponsor. Yeah, that brings us to our sponsor. Thank you so much for sponsoring the stream tonight. There's a $50 Amazon gift card courtesy of Thangs at the end of the stream. Stay tuned for that. There is a link in the description. Yeah, in the description of this video.
I think it's down
also,
there.
We'll actually post the link in the chat here in a second. Geary, can you please post the giveaway link? There we go. We'll get that going. Make sure you enter just like every week. If this is your first time here, hold on to your pants, because this is going to be a phenomenal ride. And I don't think we should waste any more time bringing them in. What do you think?
Let's do it. Bring him in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daryl, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
The broken nerd himself. Finally, man, we are great, man. I know I have been talking about. I mean, since like back in Ketchup days, like we've been trying to find some time to bring you on, because you've been just like a prolific member of this community, just like constantly just releasing epic stuff. I mean, and we're gonna get into all this, but rather than me tell them about it, why don't you really quick, for those that haven't met you before, give us the background. Who are you? What do you do?
Of course, Daryl Maloney. I go by The Broken Nerd. I run a YouTube channel. I do 3D modeling, 3D printing. I kind of focused in on props and helmets and just fun stuff.
Oh, and, man, is it fun.
Yeah, and it's been an amazing journey.
You said helmets, right?
Yeah.
Wait, hey, Geary, cue the Hot Makes. You out there, Geary?
He's.
I told you we're going to start off with Hot Makes, and this is one of the hottest of them all.
Speaking of helmets,
what are we looking at here, Daryl?
That is the Miles Morales. I believe it's a Daft Punk inspired helmet from the last release of the Spider-Man game, the Miles Morales Spider game for the PS4, I believe, for the PS5. But man, yeah, that one was a challenging one, trying to figure out how to get that thing to work. And there's not a lot of pictures out there of this helmet. There's like side pictures and back pictures. So this one was a little bit challenging, but came out good.
Yeah, I think. What do you think, Jim? Is it good? It's just all right. It's just all right for you. I mean, it's pretty.
If you're with us in the chat right now, I have to recognize you guys all. You guys are awesome. Welcome to Hot Makes. Tell us in the chat if you think this is hot, because this may be the hottest thing we've seen this year.
So I don't have any of the background story. You said it's kind of Daft Punk inspired. I mean, obviously, I've seen the Miles Morales Spider-Man and all that stuff, but where did this? I hadn't seen this before you actually posted it. So where were you getting your material from, Daryl?
So I originally saw it. Actually, to be honest with you, Uncle Jesse had, I believe, tagged me in it like when it first came out. He sent me a DM. I believe this was the one. He sent me a DM, and then after that, it took me a while to get to it. And then Hot Toys released some pictures of their figure that they're coming out with, I believe, next year. And that's when I kind of like took the project on and started making it. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull it off just because of the angles that they were, but they had a nice front profile and a nice side profile, which I was able to kind of pull off. And then I like to include the details. I try and get a screen as screen accurate as I can or in this case, game accurate. But again, not there's a lack of pictures out there, so I did my best with it.
Yeah, I mean, wait, what's going on, Jim? What's
a phone?
Did you not turn? I thought it was your phone. This isn't.
No, it's not
this
my
isn't
phone.
a call-in show. What is that?
Actually, I think we do have a caller.
Oh, we have a caller.
Caller is
Speaking of the devil, who was it?
Somebody say my name.
Uncle Jesse,
My name,
how are you?
I figured I'd just have to show up and.
Oh wow!
How did you get the number to the hot mix line, Uncle Jesse?
Oh man, this is a surprise.
Were your ears burning?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man.
I've got the Spider-Man bucket printing. Oh, I should say reprinting. It originally just failed.
Oh wow!
Running it back again. I re-supported today and running it back. Excited to get that printed, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you? How's the family?
Good, man. Good, man. How's the dog? That's what I want to know. How's the puppy?
Oh, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole other thing.
That's a whole nother.
Well, listen, this is hold on. While we're here, like I gotta say, like this is a little bit of a reunion tour, and it's funny that you happen to call, Clayton, Uncle Jesse, as everybody knows you, because I was talking before the stream with Daryl, and we were looking at the old photos, right? And so this is when I first met him. I don't know, was this when you first met him in person too, or you guys had met before?
First time we met in person.
This was
as well.
Maker Faire 2018, right? And we were, man, that was such a good time, man. There's so many good people, so much awesome stuff there. And it's especially in this day and age, it's just like, it's really good to look back. I know, Daryl, you posted this a couple weeks back, and I think it's good to be able to look back on these kind of things because we've all been kind of cooped up.
Yep.
I know.
Oh my
gosh.
I think his ears were ringing because he just said, I think Uncle Jesse sent me that file. I was like,
I know. I was like, wait, I got to get on here. I got to dial in right now.
Anyway, so there he was, and we had a bunch of other fans.
That picture, right?
Yeah, I do believe so. I was like, oh my god, if somebody's gonna be able to do this, it's Daryl.
Well, so and Clayton, you said you tried. I'm sorry, I keep calling you by your given name. Your mom calls you Clayton. We all call you Uncle Jesse. You gave a shot at printing the helmet, but you ran into some issues, huh? What happened?
Yeah, it's I'm attempting a resin print of it, obviously. So his Nova helmet. This is the Broken Nerd's Nova helmet that I'm attempting to now sand. I'm just sanding this today, posting some Tic Tac videos, and I'm going to be painting that this week. This is one of my favorite helmets that he's modeled. Oh my god, it's beautiful! It's so nice. It's so nice.
Well, and as we all know, Uncle Jesse is like a helmet master, right? Ever since his old Pepakura days and all that. So,
hey,
and the resin too.
I want to jump in here and steal something. Daryl, it has been like years, and I think I found the original project that I ended up talking with you on way back in the day on the replica platform. This is before like YouTube and Twitter.
Wait,
and all this
I don't think people know how we met, right?
No, I don't think so.
The Uncle Jesse and Broken Nerd reunion tour here.
Message boards. And I think it was this project.
Yeah.
Was it the Tesseract holder that I
The
still
Tesseract
have never? Yeah. I still have not finished this. I have all of the. I think you sent me a link to like all the acrylic panels, so I still have those. I just haven't finished everything. I need to sand and finish something. I don't ever finish any of the prints I make. So.
Oh man, Daryl, is it wild seeing your stuff just like and how it's influenced everybody and other makers and other YouTubers and stuff?
Yeah, like I tell my wife times. Like there was one time I went to our local hobby store, and I was checking out, and the individual was kind of just looking at me, and I was like, "Well, why is he looking at me like that? I'm not stealing anything." So as I walked to the door, he's like, "You're the Broken Nerd," and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh my god, I saw you on Tested." I'm like, "Is it really happening right now?"
Oh my gosh!
But
I love it. Well,
like
it is kind of everybody's like in our world. Like Tested is the grail, right? You want to be on it. Uncle Jesse just had Resin Labs featured recently.
Yeah.
I mean, like those guys are awesome. We've all been watching them forever. That's cool that you could pop in though. We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah,
and,
man. Thanks for calling us and making it a call-in
Yeah,
show.
thank you. I'm happy to jump in.
Yeah.
Any
well,
last minute Daryl stories you want to tell us before you
Finish
go?
watching the rest of it. Enjoy.
Awesome.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Yeah, I need all of the helmet files that you've designed. All right, see you guys. Enjoy. Good seeing you, man.
Thanks, Uncle Jesse. Have a great night.
Hey, surprise, huh?
Awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. I haven't seen him in person since Maker's Fair.
I know, man.
Nice.
I know.
Yeah,
It was
awesome.
good.
Oh, man, that was perfect timing. You obviously didn't know that was going to happen, and you just mentioned
not at all.
that was amazing. So let's jump into the second hot makes tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
The second one we got, from Old Monster, One Old Monster. I can't remember. And
Yeah.
this is sick. This is a chimney on the Time Machine train
Oh wow.
that they put together.
the
lights,
Jules Verne train from
smoke.
Back
Yeah.
to the Future.
Yeah.
Like that.
Time check, it's on.
I don't. Did you
Okay.
ever? Did you get into the Back to the Future series at all, Daryl?
Very vague. Like I've watched a few of the movies. It's been like years since I actually watched.
It's been a while since I've seen them too.
Yeah.
But look at this model, dude. This is great. I love it,
That's
and it's
insane.
got some model train stuff. It's a little dark, so it's kind of hard to see, but you get the sense of. And it looks like they got that mineral oil or something in there, so that it does that
Right.
cool smoke thing. That's a neat model. I love that.
I absolutely love when people incorporate different things into the 3D models where they can make it, more, bring it more realistic. Like
Interactive.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for
love it.
sure. For sure. It's almost like too much smoke. I saw that at first, and I'm like, "Oh, it's like is something on fire here?" But no, it's just
Right.
coming right out of the snack.
It's
That's
so
awesome.
good. Nice work on this one. We definitely I love the lights. I love the train in general. What do we got next? Let's see. Oh, you tagged this one. Go ahead, Pooch.
Oh my god! So we've been seeing a lot of these. The Atlas robots, the Boston Dynamics robots? Have you seen those like lately and stuff? The little quadrupeds that'll like hop around, or they got the bipedal ones and stuff like that. And so somebody did a one now that they've got. They post on Hackster. They call it the Mini Pupper, but it's all open source, and it's just got a pie in it, which I would have thought wouldn't have been sufficient for the motion control system and all that stuff, but. It's a trip. And Jim, if you scroll down, there's some video of the thing, waltzing around. And I love when people like take on a project like that. And we got a lot of variety in this thread here.
I don't know what's happening.
Maybe you're not in the thread, but anyway, I was gonna say I love when people take on a big money project like that and try to bring it to like a community development type thing. And I don't know, man. I have no experience with robotics whatsoever. Like I'm in awe of people who can do this kind of thing, but I just thought it was a trip. I don't know if maybe we're not. Maybe the link takes you there. That Bitly link.
And it looks like Thangs.
trying to find it.
I think Becky is here with Thangs. I think.
Yeah, it's in the link.
Go make a robot.
Scroll down.
Scrolling.
There you go.
Scrolling. There it is. There's the video. The Mini Pupper.
There you go, Mini Pupper.
Oh, Mars Trials. There we go. Oh, and I love it's got a little
It's
face
got a little
on it.
face. I love the face.
Yes, so good. So
I love
good.
this.
I love that it's weathered.
Wow.
Well, is this
Oh.
like
Probably
a combo of
digital,
this is a rendering, right? I
Yeah.
thought there was some actual video of it walking around at the end, though.
I don't know what you're talking about. That looks so real to me.
Yeah, of course it does. You're an AI.
Of course
What
it
do you
does, Geary, because in your reality that is real.
know?
Nice. Well, I love this one. Definitely a hot make, and
Yep.
if you have a pie and want to play with a robot, this is the way to do it.
Daryl, you ever get any robotics and stuff? Have you done any of that?
I haven't. The closest I've came to is arcade that I still need to finish, but that is about it. This stuff blows my mind.
Yeah, and
I wonder. I wonder if Lego is going to come up with a robotic kit like this.
Oh,
That would be
like the Mindstorms, but like go
Yeah.
a step further with it. You mean?
That
Like-
would be amazing.
It always seems like such an inefficient way to travel around, but I guess in a lot of ways, like that's the idea, right? Because you don't know what kind of terrain you're hitting, and so wheels aren't necessarily going to be the answer. But you think like Lego robotics is the way to get people into it. Oh, wait, great! The phone's ringing again.
Again? All right. What do we got here? Let me
Who's
check the
that?
line.
Hello, caller.
Oh, speaking of Lego, Amy
Oh, you're
Double
on.
D. Yeah.
I heard this is the Maker Faire reunion line.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hi.
how are
I miss
you?
people and hugs.
You know, the other day I was talking to my wife and I said, I don't know why, but the rubber ducky unicorn that you gave me
Ah,
still sits on my dresser next to my bed, and it has not moved since I came back from Maker's Fair.
He's lying.
You
He's
problem
lying. It sits
solve
on the
with
side
that?
of his tub. You know it's in your bathtub, Daryl.
do you problem solve with it?
No, but it sits there every night. I look at it.
Ah.
Inspiration.
So the rubber ducky is like a programmer thing. So when I started programming, my senior engineer gave me this rubber ducky and said, whenever you have a problem, you talk to the rubber ducky to help you solve your problem. Okay. and I was, Daryl and I were talking about that. I'm like, so at Maker Faire, I was like, hi, I brought you something. So I brought him a unicorn rubber ducky. I'm like, you can use this to talk to.
And it literally sits on
actually-
my dresser every day.
Ah, that's so funny.
I think
I know,
we
I
all
was-
need a unicorn rubber ducky.
I know you can get them in mass supplies. My senior engineers over me when I was a junior, they like bought like 12 of them. They're like, here, keep one at home, keep one on your desk. I'm like, this is
Never
bad.
have too many.
No.
So
problem solved.
what has you calling? I mean, Daryl's here.
Oh, I heard Daryl was here. I heard Uncle Jesse was here, and then I heard Lego. So ding, ding, ding.
Had to
No.
call.
No, it's funny because like I guess I print stuff like all the time. Your printers are always going. Like if it's quiet, I'm like, it's weird. I don't like it. And
Something's
yeah, that's exactly what I feel like. And I've supported your Patreon for I don't even know how long. So like
Thank
and
you.
your helmets like always print perfect. I'm like, all right. It's like it's very
What's your Uncle
rewarding.
Jesse?
You mean,
Yeah,
you mean
well, he's
like this one?
yes, that's one of my favorites. That's the How to
Wow.
Train Your Dragon. That's the Hiccup one.
Yep.
Right? And it printed perfect the first time. So I was like, okay. I was like, I have to kind of do it in Amy style because like you always inspire me. So I recreated this entire thing in Lego.
Oh, wow.
It's 164,000 pieces.
Is that all?
Or-
Insane.
So it's like that's like what, like a third of your Lego collection then, Amy?
Well, all of Daryl's helmets that he's designed has like such high detail. So I only wanted to use bricks and plates because it gets complicated if you start to use other pieces. But I was like, all right, I gotta like recreate something. Daryl, you probably never know like how much you like impact people when you like release something and you print something. So because it's
That is
actually
great.
funny, like yeah.
What a
so,
great
like,
variation on the normal thing. Like that you actually like. Amy, tell people what this software is too. And this looks
Yeah.
like it
Oh,
must be
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
intense.
so it's,
1,600,
it's
16,000
called
Legos?
Stud.io. It's like a CAD program, like same that you would design your 3D models for your 3D printing, but it's for Lego. So all
wow.
of the Lego bricks are already in the design, and then you can render them. Sorry, Joe, I didn't have time to build it. I can send you the build guide, but yeah.
How long would that take you to build, do you think?
Oh my gosh. I was thinking from like Lego Masters. I'm like, how long, if you have a Lego set that's like 5,000 pieces and it has instructions and the pieces are already laid out for you, that can take sometimes 8 hours to build. So
Wow.
it would be a project.
Someone in the chat said, "How big would this actually be? Would it be like
It's a
the full
meter.
size?
It's almost a meter.
A meter?
What?
It's
Oh.
something like the design is like, it's huge because I tried to do it in like small, like with smaller pieces, but you just don't have the detail. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's even a little bit bigger than Uncle Jesse's head. So that wouldn't even.
Oh my god.
We would need like oh my gosh.
But Daryl,
Hey.
thank you. So that's like,
My mom,
That's one
I
of
don't
my
know if my
favorite
mouth has like not closed. Like I'm in awe. Like that is amazing.
I'll
Is that
share.
cool?
What else did I print that of course, your like Mandalorian helmet that everyone on the internet loved. But it was funny because when we were filming Lego Masters, The Mandalorian was actually showing. So like nothing like 20 adults on a Friday night in one hotel room watching The Mandalorian. So after we finished filming, we came back and that was like the first thing I printed of like the new year. And I mean, I was just so excited. Like, I guess you should even be like, Will Arnett was even like, whoa, I need that. So Lego Batman wanted a Mandalorian helmet from the Broken Nerd.
Yes, yes.
That's wild, man. Your stuff has been in front of Will Arnett.
Add that to your resume.
Right. Well, we definitely thanks for stopping by. I don't know how you knew, but the team that the nose or ears must have been ringing or whatever they say. But
well, she's always watching. She's always watching the stream.
The Lego fairies called me. The Lego fairies called and I came. It was good to see you, Daryl.
Good to see you too.
No, keep making, because everything you make inspires us, even if we don't, or at least I don't talk about it. Like, it's so nice because I feel like I haven't made very much this like past year, but like knowing that I can print one of your helmets and it's a successful print, I'm just like, oh, I made something. Really, you made something and then my printer made something and now I have to stand it. But it's still, I will not be standing your stuff, Uncle Jesse. So
awesome. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks so much.
Bye, Daryl. Bye.
Bye. Nice.
Oh. Wow, man.
Awesome.
Lego. Okay, so you've had now Lego helmet. We've seen, and we're talking about how, I mean, like you are one of the most prolific helmet makers, especially, right? Like, what do you suppose it is about helmets that like just it embodies like a character? Like, you tell me, what is it that you love about them?
It's kind of what started the 3D printing part. And to be honest with you, I've shared this story probably a dozen times now. I saw Uncle Jesse's video of him printing the Black Panther helmet. And at the time, I was just 3D modeling just for rendering purposes. And when I saw that, I was like, what is this sorcery that I need to get a hold of? and from there, it kind of just evolved. And helmets kind of been kind of my main point of focus. It's just a fun way to, and I think everybody, once for Halloween or whatever it is, you can have a helmet on display, you can wear it for Halloween, wear it in the house.
Yeah.
So
So what was your first printer that you had that like when you first said, hey, I got to get into this? What'd you start with?
Oh man, it was a Wayno.
One of the Wan House. Was it FDM or was it resin?
It was the FDM, and the way I found it was because of Maker's Muse.
Okay.
He had reviewed it and gave it pretty good reviews, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be my first printer. And then maybe about 2 months after that, I ended up getting a CR10, and then a couple weeks later, I turned to my wife. I'm like, I think I want to get another printer. She just gave me that look like, really?
I think we all know that look.
We've been there. Jim, how many times has Lindsay been like, really? Do you need another print? She doesn't even ask anymore, does she?
This is my garage. My garage. I mean, we'll put it that way. And the funny thing is, they just show up now. Like, I don't even ask for stuff, and she just texts me, "You got another one, Dot." That's it. Like,
that's the same deal. She's like, "There's a package at the door," and I'm like, "All right, I don't know."
I love it.
Oh man. Okay, so you did CR10, so you went bigger, so you could do full helmet in one piece, and then how long until you got into resin?
It will be a year out. People actually contacted me, spoke with them. It was through Chris. Gave my information to them, and then they reached out to me. And
Chris Russell
from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I thank him for that because he established my relationship with people. But it kind of just went to the Moai, and then from the Moai, kind of just evolved. And now I do most of my printing in resin. Even for the stuff that I'm doing on the side is just mostly resin printing. I have two FDM printers now, and then all the rest are resin.
It's funny. Nice. I've been saying, like, I've been doing 3D printing for over 5 years now, and I'm only just getting into resin, wow. And I'm like, okay, it's way too long. Yeah. I don't really have a good excuse, it's like, awesome. I just wanted to, like, look at that, dude. Is that what was that? Is that a resin print you did there, Big Jim?
Yeah, this is the Wexter Mini Jim.
Not so mini
Jim. I made it big enough to get a mini gym from Wexter. So that's my life right there. I'm good now.
You've reached the pinnacle
I mean,
of success. You've went to
Joel-
Webster as
Joel
model.
Telling has one. He has the safety Joel, and now I have the mini gym.
Joel. Yeah.
It may not be as flattering as his.
Ring, 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 banana phone. Ring,
Wait a
ring,
minute.
ring, 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 banana phone.
Wait.
What's the banana phone?
I don't know what that is. But speaking of Joel Telling, Joel, how you doing?
Is that my
God.
ringtone? Is that seriously my ringtone?
Your ringtone is the banana phone.
Banana phone. Banana phone. Hey, Daryl.
Why don't we have a banana
What?
phone?
What is this? What? What?
What do you got there, Joel?
Okay, Uncle Jesse, Amy, me. Let's.
Tough act to
I mean,
follow. Tough acts to follow.
I mean, honestly, my kids just brought me up a Sunday from McDonald's, so this day's looking up right now.
Oh, excellent.
Hey, Daryl, how you doing?
Hey, good and you.
Listen, legit, like this thing right here that you modeled, and I still remember when we were going back and forth, and I had you cut certain things in a certain way to make it easier to print. I'm going to try to do something here, and I'm hopefully not going to break it or myself.
Uh-oh.
And
Please don't. We're very poorly insured here on
it's
Hot
so heavy. Jeez.
Wow.
So there we go. So what I always wanted to do with this is use it as a showcase because people are always curious. They see these massive props done and they don't realize that you can use multiple parts to make something. And so the other side of this, I mean, it looks a little dirty, kind of unfinished, but that's the point, right? It looks like it looks because it shows the process. And part of it, it showcases the amazing detail there is in that model that you made. And I love it. Like, this is my favorite side. The other side, I can't finish things like you finish things because your stuff is just so good.
Thank you.
So I like to admire things still in progress. So this is still in progress.
Now, Joel, be honest. It's dirty because you're outside playing with it constantly.
Sometimes. When we
Yes.
made the episode on this, I remember Sean got out the drone and was flying overhead, and I'm twirling it around my head, and it's heavy. It's really, really heavy.
How long
reluctant.
did you
It's
print
a lot of
it?
plastic.
If you remember this episode that Joel put out about this sword, let us know in the chat because it was amazing, and you could tell
That was
the way
fun.
you were holding on to it that you were terrified of dropping it for one, but that it was heavy.
It was heavy. One of the things, Daryl, I need to thank you. That Miles Morales helmet that you made and you've posted to Twitter. I know you're going to end up bringing it into the real world, but that digital creation of it, I think it made my editor, video guy Sean. I think he cried. I think he cried happy tears. I think he had a moment. I think it was, those segments of time in your life that you'll always remember. I think that was one for Sean, and it's amazing. And so I just have to thank you for putting that out there in the world because one day it's going to exist, and I know he's just going to become a crying pile of happiness. It's awesome.
He's not lying either, Daryl. Like when I was up there last, Sean made me watch that Spider-Man with him because I hadn't seen it yet. He's like, "You're watching this right now."
Awesome.
He's a fanboy, and then so
So-
that's good. It's
So
always good to
Daryl,
chunk
you need to we need to work on getting some more of your models printed on the show because I have some cool things coming my way, and I think it would be really awesome if we showcased them using digital creations that you've made. And so I want to make that happen. Like, I
Awesome.
can't share too much yet, but let's just make that happen.
That'll be awesome. Awesome.
You guys and all your secrets, man. I swear.
Wait,
Banana
speaking of
phone.
secrets,
Banana phone.
Uncle Jesse, Amy Double D, and now Joel. Just for Daryl.
Wow.
Are you feeling alive,
Seriously,
buddy? Are you
Daryl,
feeling
love you,
alive?
buddy.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy. Next time we're all together, like I owe you a hug and a milkshake.
Awesome.
Maybe not even in that order. It's up to you.
Milkshake.
I'll take it however it comes.
Love it.
Thanks for being on, Joel. Always good to see you,
That's
buddy.
fine. Yeah. See you guys.
Thank you.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
Joel.
Bye.
Now that Thanos sword was one of the earlier things I think you released on your Patreon. Am I right?
No, I never released that file. I only
There
sent
was-
it to a few selected individuals ended up getting it. Joel was one of them. He ended up doing the video, but I don't release the weapons on Patreon, which I kind of put it out there to see if they wanted it, but a lot of people are interested in it. I have a lot of like weapons and props like in the archive nobody has really printed, and I'll figure out something to do with them to get them out to the public. But
yeah. Well, this might be a good opportunity though. So so that one wasn't on your Patreon, but you do have a lot of stuff on your Patreon. Do we have his Patreon? Gary, can we get his Patreon link out there so people, if they're interested in joining? There is such an amazing catalog of just really high quality stuff. I mean, you've seen only a small fraction of it, obviously here, but if you're interested in Daryl's work, that is a fantastic place to go and to support him and continuing to create his epic stuff.
And with the swords, there's so many CR30s in the wild now. I could just see
there are
that stuff just taken off, and now I might have to get mine going on that. The Thanos.
I know, because I
sword
got half of them.
yeah. So I'm trying to remember where were we? Let's see. And Hot Makes before all those distractions.
We still have a couple Hot Makes left. Oh my god.
Yeah, we still have Hot Makes.
Sorry for all the distractions, Daryl. We were trying to have a show here, and these people keep interrupting. Jeez, the nerve.
I mean, so I think we should go. Let's step back for a second. We've seen the Raspberry Pi powered robot. We've seen Daryl's helmets. I want to jump back to this just for a minute because while we were doing this, I was thinking, and Gary called me out for being a little distracted in the chat because I'm thinking, how does a Raspberry Pi control the whole robot? I mean, I think that's something that is beyond me. Right? I mean, obviously,
because the Pi is small, there's a lot of processing power in there, Jim. You know, it's just the miracle of modern computer architecture. Perhaps, I don't know. It did seem like there should be more. I agree.
I mean, the screen and everything.
I run off of a Pi. Are you calling me stupid?
Yes, we are. We have one of the most smart alecky AI systems out there. He'll call Jim out on being, not paying attention, and he loves to backtalk.
Well, that's probably because I'm the one that coded it, and I have no idea how to code. So then
it's turned on you, Jim.
I love it. Well, what do we got next? I know we have some more here, and then we want to talk to Daryl about everything too. So next thing we actually had was the Star Wars Butcher Block. I'm not sure if you've seen this yet. I don't know if I can. Oh, I can go full screen. Nice. Check this out. I'm going to kind of skip through it, but essentially they take a full size Butcher Block here, and then they go in and with a CNC. Yep.
Yeah.
And then they kind of go through a whole bunch of processes. Look at that so far.
Wow.
That is sick already, right? And now he's taping some stuff off. And we don't have time to watch this whole thing. It's 15 minutes long. But all the
Cliff Notes.
Cliff Notes. All the links for tonight's show are in the description of this episode. Just go to the Google Doc. You'll find everything. It looks like he's dropping some glue in there.
Whoa.
Fast forward a little bit. There you go. Look at that. So he dropped. Sorry, let's go back here. So he dropped the pieces in there, the glue, and he's like highlighting. It's just crazy how this thing is made.
So it's plugging it in, and then he's milling away.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
That's crazy.
He's got a
pushing
negative
it down and gluing it in, and then milling it away, and then here, check this out.
Oh my gosh!
Let's just make another full inlay that will sit inside.
Yeah. Because not enough. Wait, how many levels? This is like Inception, man. How deep are we going here, right? Like he's doing another inlay.
Yeah.
What?
That is sick. And then he drops it on there, mills it away. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, I'm in awe of this. I love, I haven't gotten into CNC and stuff, but like the amount of time and detail and
you're essentially making a positive and a negative of each piece.
Yeah,
that have to fit together like absolutely precisely, and then milling. It's so good. And
Wow.
You know,
Let's
we
see the
don't see
final.
enough. Yeah, let's get over here. Sorry. Let me back up.
Oh wow, he's got.
Wow.
Wait, are there printed? Was that some printed components that he was actually, or was that just different stains? Like, how did he get like the flame trail and the C3PO?
Yeah, let's see. Oh,
Oh, of course. Now we're getting another call here. Who's
what is
calling
this?
this
The
time? you
Diggers
think, Daryl?
Hotline?
Predictions?
I
You're
know.
on with
Speaking of,
At this point.
I see who it is.
Oh, you
Speaking
do?
of
Oh, okay.
robots and the Holy Grail, ladies and gentlemen, Norm from Tested. How you doing, Norm?
Did I get the right number? Am I
You did it!
dialing correctly? Hey, it's Daryl. Hey, Daryl.
Hey, no. What a surprise.
Good to see you. And everyone else.
Yeah.
Norm, thank you
How
for
you doing?
joining us, man.
Oh.
We've been having an epic show. We've had a lot of guests. It's we haven't had a call-in show historically, so welcome to our first call-in show. You're caller 4.
I'm
Congrats on
happy
that.
to be called for. Everyone else was so great. It was fun watching everyone check in and your reactions, Daryl. It was amazing. Daryl, I love working with you. We don't do enough videos together, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you have this camera angle framed because your Hot Toys and your 6-scale figures behind, that's our bond. People may not know that. That's our bond. Like, you know, you post your 3D models and the helmets and stuff, and that's how we found you, right? Like, you know, we were such big fans of the finishing work you did on your helmets, and you know, it was really so cool to have you come out. But we didn't know what the collaboration was going to be like, and even though we had shared interests, like you know, tech, we were big fans of pop culture. It's not, I think, until like a couple years later when we're like, hey, dipping our toes in it. You like this 6-scale stuff? You like this quarter scale stuff? And that's what we text about all the time now.
So people don't know. Like I'll text Norm like, "Hey, did you see this?" And Norm texts me back, "Hey," and like it's all about 6-scale figures and how we can mod them and make dioramas and.
Yeah.
So Daryl, for people who don't know, tell us about when you first worked with Norm and Tested, and you know some of the projects you guys have done.
Yeah, it's I think I sent the tweet out and they had gotten in contact with me. I was actually in San Francisco for something else. And I ended up meeting up with Norm and Kristen, and we sat down and had tea, and we spoke a while. And then they came up with the idea to do the walk with Adam at Silicon, and then I flew back out there and we did that project. And then I think the second time I was out there, we did the Twitch collaboration for Inspector Gadget. That was really fun.
That's
then,
worth a watch, guys. We need to find that link because I really enjoyed that where you did the gadget hand right with the screwdriver and the gadget mobile.
Yeah,
right?
Yep. And those files we still have them up on Thingiverse.
Yeah,
If anyone wants to download them and print that out. And it was just fun going through that finishing process too. We were experimenting with the Malto paint finishes for that chrome and doing it live. You know, that was a lot of fun. I think what I love most is you come up with ideas that aren't the ones that we usually think up of, right? Like when we asked what kind of costumes you want to make for Silicon, for Silicon Valley Comic-Con, you said Knights of Ren. Like we weren't thinking Knights of Ren, and that seems so perfect. And you kind of then reverse engineering, because back then it was a concept art, and the whole thing of going through just the brief glimpses of what had been seen in those flashes, right? To then extrapolate that into, again, a 3D modeled helmet, and then to do the costuming, and then for you to be able to walk through the convention in that full costume. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was fun, and that was my first time. I never cosplayed up until that point.
That's right.
So that was my first time cosplaying. Actually, my first time at a Comic-Con. It was an experience. It was really fun.
And then you went out to New York too. When we got to hang out in New York Comic Con.
New York Comic Con. That was fun. It's just been an amazing time. I really enjoyed our relationship and working with Tested, and Norm and I have developed a friendship over the time. So I really do appreciate what we have.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Sorry, really quick. I just wanted to ask when you were on. You know, not only is it amazing that you can do all this, Daryl, but like with how little time, I imagine you guys actually had to produce it, because you're on a time crunch when you're doing. Maybe Norm, you can speak to your production timeline.
Daryl works so fast; it blows my mind. It's actually something I always point. You know, I've done talks at classes and schools and stuff, and a lot of people ask they want to get into special effects or something. Like, what's a skill that you can learn? And one, I tell them, you know, 3D printing and stuff it's an easy way to get in. It's accessible now. You can watch videos that other Uncle Jesse and Joel have made, and show that that's a great way to support artists and also just learn the technical aspect of what it takes. But design is something that I think, like, Daryl, you're a designer, right? It's like, and that going through the process of replicating things and have an understanding of form and how form works in a digital space and how then it manifests in the physical space. Like, yes, it started off with helmets, but it goes beyond that. And I think it goes also to like the 6-scale stuff. Like, I think when you and I both look at a 6-scale figure, we're appreciating that is a 3-dimensional representation of a full costume, a costume that we only see on a flat screen on the big screen TV or a movie theater. But you're noticing nuances that the costume designers put into the textiles, into the layering, and then that all informs how you would go about designing or being inspired to take a cartoon like Battle for the Planets and turn that into a 3D design thing.
Yeah,
I gotta jump in and say this. If you created like a series, how-to class, anything, I would pay to watch it and learn from you. I mean, it just to get in your mind just a little bit, just like
masterclass, baby. Yeah,
like, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just things like Norm was saying. You find stuff that like most of us would glaze over and never catch, but then all of a sudden, bam, it's there.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to keep things interesting.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Norm, I know we talked about a robot. Can you believe that little robot was powered by a Pi?
The Raspberry Pi is
You
pretty
guys have
powerful. As
the
long
real
as there's
thing.
enough I/O, as long as you have
Yeah.
things to run the servos, right? You're talking about basic gate. I guess it depends on how autonomous you want, but you can run those neural networks and yeah, no, the Pi's pretty good.
See, you heard it here. Yeah, see, our AI system says he's fine. He runs on a Pi. He's fine.
Pies are the best.
Well, one other thing I wanted to say, because I know you've got to run Norman and stuff too, but I think what's particularly impressive to me about Daryl's skill is that he spans all kinds of different genres, right? You mentioned he brought in it. He's like, let's do Knights of Ren, and then he goes deep into all kinds of other stuff too, the Marvel universe and even I love that you guys did Inspector Gadget, because that's not something anybody would have thought to necessarily do. I love retro stuff like that, and I wish we could see some more of that. What's
You calling us old?
I'm old. I'm right there with you, man. That's why
That
struck a chord in my heart.
our DNA, right? It's the thing that we
Yeah.
grew up with, like
Yeah.
those cartoons, and now that we're grown up and you have the ability and like the tech to make these things real,
Yep.
why not, right? It's these powerful touchstones that kind of all are these creative explorations. But I think not just Daryl doing it all in terms of the modeling, the printing, the finishing, it's also the video too. And it's been really pleasurable to watch over the years the evolution of your video filming and editing and the eye for it. Again, it's all about the design eye. It's like being aware of when you're watching other people's videos or when you're filming your own stuff. That's some people that's really tough to do, and to do really beautifully produced pieces and take pride in that. I think it's another reason we love working with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I feel like I need to spin around with a cat. Like,
I'm here
Dr.
live.
Claw.
I'm not a cat.
Yeah, we know you're not a cat. Well, Norm, thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. I'm sure Daryl was happy to catch up with you, and I hope you guys have him on again at some point soon, because we've always enjoyed watching those collaborations.
We got plans. We got plans. We got in our text chat. We got plans.
We got plans.
Excellent.
Nice.
That's what we like to hear.
Can't wait to see him.
Nice to meet you guys. Take care.
Same.
Good
Thanks,
night.
Norm.
Talk to you, Norm. Wow.
Run the gamut. The reunion show, baby, right? We're having such a good time. We don't want to say.
This is
We
awesome.
told you we might go a little long, but we didn't tell you why, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
wow.
No.
Nah,
Do
just
we really
kidding.
have another call?
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just messing with you.
That's funny. You're really funny.
Yeah.
That's really all.
But wait,
I'm like,
there's
that would have
more.
been a surprise to us.
If you call in right now, we'll give you. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Give everybody Gary's phone number right now. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Awesome. I mean, what do you think, Norm? Huh?
Yeah, like I said, we talk kind of like weekly, and we'll see. Again, it's like we bonded over Hot Toys and 160L figures, and I'll see something new, he'll see something new, and he'll be like, "Hey, did you see this? Or did you see this?" And then we're thinking like, what can we make to go with this? Like, what kind of video we can produce to. So that's kind of like our going thing. So, and Norm is amazing, and he's been a true friend. So.
That's fantastic, man. And for those, Gary, I'm hoping that you can actually hunt down those Thingiverse models that we were talking about, and if we can find the link, I think I have it somewhere too of that collab that you did with Norm, where you guys did the Inspector Gadget. That's well worth a watch for anybody. It's still on Twitch.
I'm trying to. All I can find is some Twitch links to some streams that you can't. They're not.
We'll dig it up, and we can always put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll have to dig it up later.
But man, I mean that's an experience. So you've gotten to work with Adam. You got to work with a lot of the crew over at Tested. That's just an amazing validation of your skills, obviously, because like that's the pinnacle of the maker world right there, my friend.
And they're all talented, man. They're
talented,
super talented. So my hats off to each and one of them on the team. Even the camera guys, I have so much fun with them when I go out there. Everybody is amazing over there. So my hats off to them.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, but this might be a good opportunity. And I know, Jim, do we still have any hot makes left, or do we want to save those for next time? Because this might be a good opportunity to segue.
We just got done with that one. We could check out.
This is one you got. Had you seen this one, Daryl?
I have not seen this one.
I picked this one out because I figured you would really enjoy this, actually.
Wow.
So this is obviously Winter Soldier arm, and it wasn't quite done because he hadn't finished the forearm piece. But I mean, the fitment that he has on here with his print and that paint job is just. I mean, Joel was doing the chef's kiss earlier. I mean, look at that.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I wish I could pull off wearing a shirt like that too.
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
I think it's articulate. I can't quite tell. I really want to see some follow up on this. Hopefully, we can reach out to him. But I'm pretty sure that's articulated, and he's got full motion in that thing. I don't know.
I think you're right on that. You can kind of see it right through here. There's like a fold, a seam and a hinge. It looks like. That's just awesome. Nice work there.
I showed that to my son. He went crazy. He's like, I want that. He's like, how did he paint his arm like that? I'm like, he didn't paint his arm. He actually like printed little, the little pieces.
The fact that he was able to get that on his arm to fit so well, that's a task in itself.
Right? It really is. I mean, after watching some of Uncle Jesse's videos about getting proper fitment for a helmet and stuff, and then just imagining, when you've got different muscle tone and everybody's got a different body shape. So it's not like, people will be like, oh, make me one. It's like, yeah, right. Like this one's made for my arm. I can't, it would take forever.
Wow.
That's a trip, huh? I love it.
It's crazy. This is such a good thing. I hope we see more. It looks like Blackout Cause. So yeah, I hope we see more.
That's a great cosplay right there.
And we have one more from
last but not least. Have you met Geeky Faye, right? She was on Make Magazine not too long ago, and
I haven't had a chance to talk to her. I would love to, but I haven't gotten a chance to have a conversation with her.
Oh man, she's another prolific maker, just constantly releasing all kinds of great stuff. So she's doing this jewelry line here, which we thought was.
I thought there was a whole bunch of pictures in here, but maybe I was wrong. But
it might be another thread.
Yeah, it's just awesome, the way she puts stuff like this together, and then the fashion that she puts on for when she wears this stuff is awesome as well. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Let's go up a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, that's neat. And was she using generative design for this, or did she actually lay that out? Because I thought I'd seen it, whatever it was. It's incredible.
It looks like this here is developing a tool that allows you to customize and alter a model according to a preset parameters, making it dead simple to create and share a model in a huge range of different options.
Wow.
So
it is kind of generative design. That's neat.
Yeah.
There you go.
So good.
That is awesome.
I like how it's got some depth to it. You don't see that all the time. That's cool. Very cool, Faye. We love it.
That's Geeky Faye. Nice work. But now back to Daryl. We're back.
Well, what I was going to segue was, Norman started talking about it, and I think when you were doing that tested stuff, that was around 2018 too, right? A couple of years ago, even.
Yeah.
And so, I think we've been doing hot mix and stuff, but I really wanted to have some time to talk to you about kind of your journey throughout, life being a maker. Like, tell us about where you started, what it's been like for you, and where you are now, and what you've learned.
Yeah. So I mean, this whole maker journey kind of started. I used to work at a hospital, and I was out for surgery for like 6 months. I mean, not 6 months, 6 weeks. And during that time, I just happened to come across some Pepacura videos, and this was all new to me. I was still 3D modeling, but the kind of like maker space was like a new concept to me.
And for those who don't know, that's where you cut out the pieces and glue them together, right? Like it's really intensive. Yeah.
Yep. So I tried my hand at that, and my first Pepacura was horrible. Like it was, it was really bad. And then like I said, I came across a couple of Uncle Jesse's videos, bought my first 3D printer, and at the time I was kind of flirting with the idea of making a video, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And not until I ended up seeing the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet, I was like, okay, I'm going to start shooting footage for this one, but I don't know if I'm going to actually put the video together and put it out. So I was capturing footage here and there, ended up putting the video out. Totally was only expecting to get like 2 views, thanks to guys like Uncle Jesse and Joel. I mean, it wasn't anything amazing, but it was enough to please me. Like I got more than 10 views. I was happy with that. And from there, it kind of took off. And then I think it was like that December, because I put the video out in September. That December, I had tag tested in a tweet, and I think it was the next day. Adam followed me. Then they messaged me, and then I was actually going to San Francisco for a different project with a wonderful maker by the name of Natia McCrae, fantastic educator as well. And she had invited me out because she was doing a project with Autodesk. So I went out there, and then from there I met Norm, and then kind of the whole thing happened with Silicon. When Silicon came back, and then I kind of hit this like wall or ceiling per se, because like you're on this high, like you do this thing with Adam, you come back, and it's just like, okay, what do I do from this point forward? Like I didn't know what to do. So I was in this space where, and honestly, I was in this space where I honestly was I felt like I was trying to outdo myself, and maybe I hit that ceiling too fast. So that's when I started experimenting. And if you notice, like there's a change in my videos. Like I went from being very enthused and being very into the projects, from kind of like falling back and kind of testing waters. In a sense, I was trying to develop skill sets on camera versus developing them off camera and then bringing them to camera to present. And I was in a space where I was trying to please everybody, trying to make sure that I get views and everything, and also live up to the expectation that, hey, I just worked with Adam. Now I have this level of expectation that comes out of working with somebody like that. And
that's really tough.
Yeah, and it was hard. And so I went through a period of kind of not knowing what to do, kind of not knowing kind of mix. And then I also went through a period where everything I did was just not, I felt like it wasn't good enough. When I first started it, I was like, I said in my videos, like, this is good enough for me. Like, I don't care what anybody else thinks, this is good enough for me. So I went from that to like, I cannot put this out because it's not perfect. And even my wife had those conversations with me. She was like, hey, everything is not going to be perfect. And I just struggled with that for a while. And I kind of took a break. Some things happened. I ended up losing my job. I was jobless for like almost a year. Yeah. And then right after I had gotten hired again, my dad ended up passing away. And he was like a big inspiration for me getting into Marvel and everything. So when that happened, directly after that, I had gotten, I was on a medication for my stomach condition that I have. What my doctor didn't tell me was that I was only supposed to be on this medicine for like 2 weeks. I was on this medicine for like almost 4 or 5 months.
Oh, wow.
Trying to come off of that medicine, I had a huge withdrawal. So that's why most of 2019, you didn't see any content from me, any videos or anything like that, because I was going through this withdrawal. And it took me from July all the way to October to kind of get back on track. And then we roll into 2020, COVID happens, and then kind of like, but COVID actually was kind of a blessing in disguise because it allowed me to work in the industry that I never thought I would be able to work in. And I wasn't even inspiring to work in this industry, but it kind of opened up the door for me to step my foot into this industry. And it's been kind of like a dream come true. And it's just been amazing to be able to do that stuff now.
And man, are we excited for you? And I know that you are very limited in terms of what you're able to talk about. So if you want to know more about what he's talking about, I highly suggest you look at Daryl's profile because his IMDb record speaks for himself. You've been working on some literally like just top tier projects at a major studio. Is that okay to say? I think everybody already knows it's like the worst kept secret, ever. But I know
would it be fair to say maybe the background represents something you might do?
Something he's passionate about.
That's fair.
Yeah. Is that fair? Okay. Without saying it.
That's good.
But that's awesome.
I mean, congrats on that, right? That's a huge thing. I mean, what a journey you've had, right? And a couple points that you made that I think I really want to make sure that people are hearing and understanding, because in this day of social media where everybody always seems to be posting the awesome stuff they're doing, and we're just seeing, and it just makes a lot of people feel like my stuff's not good enough. And to hear somebody at your level say that you go through that too is powerful, and it's meaningful, and it should reaffirm to everybody that it's like, hey, it's okay. Like a lot of times the failure and the not good. I mean, Joel says this all the time, and it's one of my favorite things that he says, and I completely agree with him that the failure is the journey. That when you're showing people your process that you're human, it's just so. It's just so powerful, and it's so much more helpful to people, I think, than just showing them awesome stuff that you can do, right? Like letting them see your humanity.
Yep. And and like I said, I think we had this conversation earlier. I'll put tweets out there just kind of expressing the way I'm feeling at the moment, and what people don't get is the context behind it. So they automatically assume that, hey, like, well, why are you down, or this, that, and the third. But they don't always understand that, and I've talked about this on my live streams on Instagram, is that like we have real lives. Like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is not our real life, right? That's what we put out there for people to see, but we all live real lives, and we have circumstances that we have to deal with. And sometimes you just have a bad day, and I had to come to the realization that it's okay to have a bad day, and you just you either bounce back from it or you let it beat you down. And I think I've done pretty well bouncing back from it. But it's been a journey.
For sure, dude. And I mean, I said this, we had a chat last week and stuff, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I mean, it's like, I understand. I go through the same, ups and downs that everybody does. And a lot of times I'm just trying to get to tomorrow. Like if I just get to tomorrow, it's going to be fine. Right. And then we go from there. But, to like I said, I think for people to hear you say that and to understand that that's okay is good. And I applaud you for, sharing that part of who you are. And I will say that, there are days where it's going to feel like, and sometimes it's a couple days strung together. Sometimes it's a week, man. Sometimes you get in a funk, but we would all be much worse off as a community, obviously not having any of the content that you make, that you constantly share. I mean, the amount of time and energy that you put in, you saw tonight, like how expansive your content impresses people. It's gotten in front of just so many awesome people to the point where it's gotten you professionally to where you are, right? Like, I mean, isn't it fair to say, like, you wouldn't be where you were professionally, you wouldn't be, having the eyes on you were it not for the fact that you're putting together good work. It doesn't matter if people like it. If you're doing it and you're putting it out there, you'll get the recognition. You'll get what you need.
Yeah, and all this happening, and and when people say you inspire me, this, that, and the third, it still hasn't. And I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, and it's maybe just my thinking. It still hasn't resonated with me. It still hasn't set in that people think of my work that way, or I inspire. I don't there's just a part of me that's like, is that, am I really that? Can I really inspire somebody? I have a hard time believing it. Like I told you about the story where the person was like, he noticed me in the store. And honestly, my wife was like, how do you feel about it? I was like, I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I don't know. Like,
that's because you're humble to a fault, my friend. You're too humble. You're too humble. Let yourself get some accolades. Get some. You deserve it. You deserve it. You really do.
Yeah. 100%. And I think the other thing is it shows when you do your stuff, if it's just the helmet pictures we saw earlier, if it's your videos, it shows how much you love and care about what you're doing too. And I think that is a big thing in the YouTube world and in content creating, because I can tell you from my own videos, if you're just standing there being like, this is what this is and this is what it does, people notice that and they call you out like, wait, what was that, Jim? You weren't on in this video. And I think we don't, for the most part, we see one side. We see the Daryl that puts out like this energy and the stuff and the cosplays and the helmets and the swords. And like you said, a few minutes ago, there's always another side. And several people said it in the chat, we're here. If anybody out there needs to talk, just reach out, you included, man. Everybody has that bad day. And now I think hashtag Pooch Cares and Feel the Pooch is going to be trending.
Let's make that a hashtag, man.
Stop it.
I think we should not do hashtag Feel the Pooch, but I think Pooch Cares is okay. But no, it really does. You resonate, in the chat with the people watching and with us and obviously the guests we had. If we had a 3-hour show, we could have easily filled it with people that wanted to come in and say hi.
Oh my gosh, I wish we could have had. You saw there were so many people that you've touched and it influenced. We had to pick a smattering of them, but obviously, and then to tell them that they only had like 5 to 10 minutes. Can you imagine trying to get Uncle Jesse to not talk for more than 10 minutes? Right? I'm just piling on Clayton tonight, the poor guy. No, I'm just kidding. All of them, but it was such a treat to have you, man. And just to finish on a high note, what you describe is classic imposter syndrome, and we all go through it, man. It's like everybody, and that's the definition of it, right? We see stuff on the socials and whatnot, and we just think, oh, am I worthy of being part of this group because everybody here is so good? And I'm like, I have no design skills. I don't, it's like maybe I can talk to people for a little bit, on a stream, but I'm in awe of some of the stuff that people are able to do. But it's okay. It's okay to feel that way as long as you don't let it drag you down, And yep. I think you have a healthy self-awareness of it, and I think that is absolutely key in just learning how to move on. And so, bring us on a high note. Like, give us some of the stuff that you're excited on. I don't know if you can tease anything that you're working on coming up, or just round us out with like maybe something that's inspired you lately, or a project you're thinking maybe I'll work on later. We love Hot Makes exclusives. If you got anything for it.
So two individuals that I've been watching very closely is Henry Creations and Off Earth.
Off Earth.
I watched the live stream with them last night, and they have been very, very inspiring for me. And I see the work that they're doing, and they're watching this stream last night. I have to get off my ass and get in the garage and start making stuff. Just seeing what they're doing, and they are putting in fantastic work. So they're very inspiring, and just seeing all the work that's coming from the community, it's been amazing to see. Just the amount of talent. I'll scroll down my Instagram feed and just be in awe of just the talent that is out there, and it's to be seen. I wish I had a huge platform where I could just put and everybody can see all these wonderful makers. But I always try and find the person that has this amazing talent but doesn't have the spotlight on them, and I kind of try and go through Instagram. I think I just tested on to a few people as well.
That's great.
And try to get the word out there. So that stuff keeps me motivated. And then I have personal things like little side projects that I planning right now that kind kind of want it to be surprised when it does come out. So I'm excited about that. And then of course the stuff that I'm working on, which I can't talk about, is exciting. But again, that's kind of like, you know, everything's on the NDA. I can't really speak about it. So
go to his IMDb profile.
when the time comes, hopefully I can speak about it a little bit more in depth. But that has been exciting, just the whole experience. The people I've gotten to meet, people I've gotten to work with, they become like friends and family. People I talk to day in and day out, and it's been an amazing experience. That, like I said, something that I never thought would have happened. And like I said, COVID did a lot of things for people, a lot of bad, a lot of good. And I'm glad that we were kind of able to come out on the good side of it. And like I said, this experience, this opportunity opened up partly because of COVID. So it's been amazing. But everybody I follow, all the talent out there inspires me to keep doing more.
That's
and
fantastic.
Off Earth is with us. Amy Double D hit it on the head there.
We featured him a
have
number of
people-
times, man. His finishing,
Yeah.
he did that wood finishing. You remember that a couple weeks ago, Jim, when
Yeah.
we featured his wood
Yeah.
finishing technique?
Yep.
And
Yep.
it was like just using the alcohol inks, and he made it look so easy too. He was just like, "Oh yeah, you can just put a little alcohol inks on here."
Yeah.
I'm like, that would look like a hot mess if I
Right.
did that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then Henry yesterday, he modeled his own masking tools for the pieces, little resin prints that just pop right on, and you can paint it, pop it right off, and you have a clean mask.
Ah,
And like it's
so good.
so simple,
Henry Creations,
brilliant. Yeah,
I need to check this out. Okay.
Yeah,
we've shown some
brilliant.
stuff from them on Hot Mix before too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, these two guys, they're they're next, man. Like they have so much talent between the two of them.
Well, that's the most positive message of all, man. It's like that we as a community continue to inspire each other, and it's like, oh man, I got this from so and so, and then that gets you motivated to get out in the garage, and then you make something that gets Joel excited, and he gets it to Neil Patrick Harris, and whatever. It's just like this contagious maker thing. It's amazing, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I do have to say, coming into this community, it is one of the best, if not the best, maker communities out there. I mean, just everybody, mostly as a whole. I mean, we absolutely have one of the best communities, and from the big fish down to us or whatever for me. But I mean, like everybody's pretty awesome.
What are you talking about? You got a gym. You got a Wexter Mini. You got
Exactly. Hey, I made it. I have made it in life.
Yeah.
I have a Wexter Mini. If you want to find it, hit up fangs.com, type in Mini Gym, and you can have the whiskers that are on this bad boy right
Look at that
there.
stubble. I
But,
love it. Love it.
But and this came straight from, well, we won't say where it stemmed from. Anyways,
Speaking of things, should we give some stuff away?
we should.
Daryl, can you hang out for us? You get to spin the wheel as the guest. That's
I'm
a
here for the long
tradition.
haul.
All right, I love it. I love it. I know we're going a little bit long. I told you guys to bring snacks in my tweet earlier. I was serious because we did, we had a bunch of special guests and we had to dive deep, and we did. But I think we've been doing a great job staying on task, given how distractible we all are here. Now it's time to give stuff away.
With that phone keeping, that kept on ringing, it definitely was throwing me off past there a little bit. But
I like the banana phone myself.
I'm just incredibly humbled, to be a part of this whole moment tonight's show and everything. Just because, I mean, Pooch and I put together a show every week, and it's not always we get to do something like this for such an awesome person. So, yeah.
No, it's an honor being on here. And like I said, I thank you guys so much for the opportunity to be up here and chat.
Oh,
this
man,
was a good therapy, and kind of like I haven't talked to anybody. And the crazy thing is, like, I'm here in Virginia Beach. There's a maker space down here, but there's not I don't know a lot of like makers per se that I can actually like link up with and do stuff. So this is my outlet, like the Twitter people I can talk to, DM. So this has been a breath of fresh air for me since lockdown.
Well, good. Now get your ass out in the garage and make us some more good stuff.
Oh man, that's awesome. I'm just waiting. There's a couple people as we're talking that are popping into the spreadsheet right now. So I'm going to actually take
Last chance
everybody's
to enter,
name
everybody.
from this point forward. It's over now. Let's
All
share
right.
that screen.
And
Let's just share the
tonight-
Chrome.
Yeah, man. And so tonight, courtesy of Things, we have our $50 gift card to Amazon. So anywhere in the world that you can get access to Amazon, which is pretty much anywhere in the world, you have a chance to win, right?
And also, yeah, we're going to give away the $50 gift card from Thanks, but we also have one of the 3D printing boxes too.
Two giveaways.
Have one of those. Yeah, 2 giveaways. So let's see where you at. Yeah, I'm going to let you do the honors. If you you just kind of reach through the screen and give it a
So
spin.
it's probably your
but you gotta
left.
go up.
Yeah, and you flip. It's like you're just doing a big curl. And we do we'll do a 3, 2, 1. Hey Gary, can we do the drum roll? What are we doing? Okay. So and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, and Jim will spin. Okay. You gotta do the spin though.
Okay. Like
Get your arm out. like I'm doing.
It's like,
This way.
this
He's like, what? No. Other arm. Other arm.
there you
arm.
go.
There you go. Okay, now reach into the screen. Okay, and then you're just gonna do a quick curl like that on 3. Okay, like up. This is way too complicated.
Exactly.
No, reach
Simon
over to the
says,
side.
Put your arm into the
There
wheel.
it is.
There
Simon
we
says,
go.
reach over to the side. Okay,
Oh.
on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There
Oh,
it is. He nailed it. He nailed it. First try. That was the best spin I've seen yet. Who we got? Who wins?
Hey!
Yes, you two must be present to win. Let yourself
Gotta be
know. Be
present.
known in the chat.
That's right.
Gianna?
Let
You
us
think it's
know.
Gianna? Gianna?
I'm gonna let you try to pronounce that because we know what happens if I do. It won't go well. Can anybody? Can anybody?
In the chat.
There she is.
There we go.
Yes.
Winner. Nice
Yeah.
job. Hey, you
Congratulations.
need to thank Daryl for the perfect spin. He landed perfectly on your name, Gianna.
It's a major award.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it that cleanly, and I don't know that it'll ever be replicated again. So
I don't think
Who knows?
so. But that's it. The end of the hot mix wheel has just happened. No.
yeah, we got to retire. We got to retire with perfection.
So here's,
All right,
here's
so
the
just-
thing. We're gonna do one more giveaway. It is. Let me just grab it.
What is it? What are we giving away?
We're doing one of these 3D printing gear filament crates.
Ooh.
Remember we unboxed this last week. It comes with some amazing rolls of filament in here.
Oh yeah, there was
Yeah.
quite a sampling in there too, as I
Yeah,
recall.
and with your first box, you get a laser cut sample spool.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I mean, you can look through there, but
No, very nice.
so
Very
really
nice.
good, a really cool box. We have 5 of them to give away for a few weeks here, and
But we're just
so
doing
this is
one
number
tonight?
2. Yeah,
Number
we're
2.
You know what? Let's do 2. Why not?
Okay, Jim's feeling generous. Jim's
I'm
feeling
feeling
generous.
generous. We're
Now, is
doing
this
2,
U.S.
so-
only? This is U.S. only, though. right?
Yes, I believe this is U.S. only. I apologize, everybody else.
Sorry, international crowd.
Yeah, good thing you said that because I forgot about that. I wonder,
All right.
should I separate the U.S. out?
We'll,
we'll be okay.
Just spin it, and if we'll have to spin again.
We're spinning it. Here we go.
Okay.
You think you can get a second perfect spin?
Go, do it again, Daryl. Come on. 1, 2,
2, 3.
Yeah!
Oh, look at this!
He's got the timing, man. I think the delay is just perfect for him. He's on fire. He's on fire.
Finally
Finally functional.
Really functional.
I know. He is. Alex is here with us actually tonight, and I know he's in Wisconsin. He's doing some really awesome stuff with some VR like shoes and a system you can wear that lets you like free range walk around and stuff. And he's developing it all himself. So
Oh wow.
really cool stuff. If you
He's-
check him
Is
out,
he the one? I thought we did a highlight where it's like you can actually.
he did quite a while ago, and he's been putting out some awesome videos with all the updates. Pretty much a complete redesign from what I've seen, which is awesome. And he actually reached out and said he could come on anytime to talk about the new stuff. So we're definitely going to get that booked for. I think we're booked up until early July, but we'll get it on in maybe July there.
Yeah, that's a trip. Daryl, you do any VR? Have you gotten into any of that?
I haven't. I know Norm is heavy into that to VR, but I haven't gotten a chance get into it.
Have you ever been curious about any of the VR sculpting stuff or any of that where you can actually like get in and do immersive modeling?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of previews on YouTube. That's a really neat concept. Again, I just have to get acclimated with the whole VR.
Yeah.
And learn it and kind of dive into it that way.
Very cool. All right,
we
got one more.
I hope I remembered that his name was Alex. I'm pretty sure that's right. He's with us too. So, all right, we got one more.
Now, finally functional. Congrats.
Yeah.
One down.
One more. Here we go.
One to go.
All right, one more. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. It wasn't your best, but it was still good. And
every week.
Shenanigans?
Every week.
Incendium. I feel like Incendium's won before. Is that true? I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining. Doesn't matter. There's no rule about being able to win again.
I don't remember, but I just want to make sure we're U.S. Yep, United States. I see it in the sign up.
I know he's in the chat, or they're in the chat.
Congratulations.
Well, congrats to all our winners.
Yes.
Thank you to Thangs.
I mean, thank you so much to Thangs. We definitely appreciate the sponsorship every week right here on Hot Makes on the new channel.
For the filament crates.
Yeah, and for 3D printing gear for the filament crate, we definitely appreciate you as well for the prize. Pooch, real quick, before we go any further, let them know what Hot Makes is. If this is your first time here, what do we do?
Yeah, if this is your first time on Hot Makes and you're still with us, then thank you so much for joining us. This is the show where you guys, the viewers, submit awesome stuff on the Makersphere to us using hashtag HotMakes, HOTMAKES, and tag it on Twitter and Instagram, and we will compile them all, and we review them and opine, and we share people's stuff. And it's like Daryl was saying, it's a great way that we as a community can continue to inspire each other and share our work. So we love that you guys join us for that, and it allows us to talk to awesome people as well.
Yes, I mean, I do have to say, we both had some shows before Hot Makes. I had Community Showcase. You had Catch Up. We put that together, and since then we've talked to and showed off so much cool stuff. Talked to so many cool people. I would have never imagined sitting here in front of Daryl talking tonight.
He's real. I told you he's real.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we like many of us, we just sit and watch these videos like this stuff's awesome, and it's such a, I don't know, it's crazy to me to actually sit in front of people and talk to you guys every week, and it goes for anybody out there making. And tonight we just happen to have some other heavy hitters come in and say hi, and I mean, I'm blessed. I mean, we're honored to have you guys, and Daryl, keep them making, because we definitely love to see it, man. And you're welcome anytime. You want to come on? You know what? I tell you what we'll do. Pooch, you're out. We're bringing Daryl in. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. They'll probably kick me out first, but no. Anytime you want to come on, you're definitely welcome.
Awesome. Yeah. I would love to come back. I had so much fun.
Oh man, it's always a pleasure. Hang out for just a sec. We're gonna do our closing credits, but stay in the green room for us, and we'll be with you as soon as we wrap up. Everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you again to our sponsors. Thank you to everybody who hashtagged Hot Makes. Keep them coming, and we will see you next week.
Later, everybody. Have a great week. See ya. Nerd.